Hey, what's up, y'all? Hold on, let me take the sunnies off. I want to thank you, Eye to Eye, for checking out Sway's Universe. And I appreciate it. We got so many videos we want you to see, so push that notification button for me. Do it now and enjoy the video. Peace.
This is Sway. Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning. Don't shake that fire. Wake your fuck ass up. Crust out your eyes.
All right, here we go, man. Rise and shine, Heather, Tracy.
Yeah,
This is a segment we do where we like to put the spotlight on artists who are on the rise for whatever reason. You know, that you may not be familiar with yet, but people we think you should know. And Wonder and I, DJ Wonder and I, often we sit down and discuss music and we try to think out of the box and we try to search for artists not based on who they're down with or what establishment is backing them up. We just like to. Maybe it's something they bring to the table.
Right.
You know, whether it's some lyrical prowess and it's just so dope that you got to have them up and give them a chance to rock. Sometimes it's people who are really creative, you know, and started making the name be known and on different platforms. In the case of this guy, you know, we sat and watched videos that he did that really thoroughly entertained us and then found out he was coming to town. He got a project that he's putting out that's coming out tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tonight at midnight.
Tonight at midnight, and so Wonder and I thought about it. I said, man, let's invite him up here and see what the guy is all about. He seemed like a cool guy. Please welcome SonReal here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, thank you guys for having me, man.
Okay, that's what's up, man. I mean, you earned it. You know, we search. You know, we look, man. We really try to find artists and bring interesting folks up here, and your videos have gotten so many views everywhere we go that's what, over 10 million now?
Yeah, it just went over 10 million. You know what's funny, man? Last year it had 2 million when I put out a single last year called Can I Get a Witness? That was my first song to go to radio and whatnot. And when that came out, I remember everywhere we go, I like vividly remember it just hit like 2 million. It was at like 2.1 or something. Yeah. And then once Can I Get a Witness came out, it just started kind of snowballing. So I think it's like the theory of like a song can be new at any time because that song came out a long time ago.
Ain't that a trip? A year ago.
Yeah.
And so you
it just kind of started popping then.
Yeah, so the whole ideology of first week sales and all of that is pretty much flushed down the toilet now. That stuff doesn't really matter right now, does it?
I don't think so at all, especially if I think honestly we live in a time right now where like real music just wins. Like whether it wins first day, first week, 2 months, 3 years later, real music's going to win at some point. And I think a lot of artists right now that are coming out, they might not even have the craziest marketing strategies for putting out their music. They might not have the craziest, team or squad or label or this or that, but real music's cutting through and we're seeing it happen all the time right now. So I think that's kind of even what happened with Everywhere We Go. It was such a good video. I didn't really have a platform to put it out at the time, but as my platform grew, people started checking it out and that started spreading and yeah, now it's over 10 million.
Here we are.
Going to 100 million. 100 million's next.
100 million. You hear that? He put it out there. Trevor, you hear that? Or intern Trevor? So, okay, cool. We can't hear you though.
Thanks, Trevor.
We can't hear you. So you're from a place called Vernon in British Columbia, right?
Yeah, man. And that's so tight that you just said Vernon, man. That's so tight that Sway just said Vernon. To me, that's like the coolest thing ever.
Oh, what?
Because my album's called One Long Dream, and it's like actually like my dream to get here on this radio show. And for you to say Vernon is crazy to me.
Wow, man. Use it for the next mixtape, please do.
Yeah, I'm not even like holding it back. I'm like so psyched to be here. It's
That's
insane.
what's up, man. I love when people have that kind of energy. And you're here because we're curious about you. Like where did you get informed about music and music culture in Vernon? What is it like in Vernon growing up?
I grew up at the skateboard park, so I started skateboarding when I was 12, and all the older skaters, man, they rapped. Like, they were wearing big camel pants, listening to Method Man, Nas, Capone Noriega, just like New York stuff. Like, that's what all my friends would listen to, and I became obsessed with New York rap, like legitimately obsessed with it. Like, I love like Nas is my favorite rapper still, and yeah, basically I just started like buying their CDs and listening to it. Before that, I was into like punk music. I love punk music. That was my favorite stuff. And when I made the transition to rap and started listening to everything that was going on out here, I basically just became obsessed with it, like Mobb Deep. And yeah, pretty much from there, I was just like, I couldn't believe the stories. It was so different than anything I had ever lived. That was so rated R to me as a kid.
Did you relate you can relate to the stories though, being from Vernon? Or?
I mean, I can't relate to the lifestyle, but that's what was interesting to me, and it inspired me. I was like, yo, if these guys can do it from where they're from, going through all this crazy stuff, maybe because nobody's ever done it from Vernon before, maybe I can, you know, tell my own story that's like, you know, coming from where I'm coming from and, you know, coming out of Vernon.
SonReal, man. Son is real. Son is real.
Yeah, man.
But let me ask you this. So Nas, we know Nas, a.k.a. Godson.
Yeah.
Did that play a part in SonReal?
Oh, Godson's one of. Oh no, you mean like the name of the album?
Yeah.
It is one of my favorite Nas albums, but nah, you know what? I actually, my first rap name was like the worst rap name ever. I was MC Deliberate. Yeah, it was like really bad. Yo, you guys can all laugh. Honestly, feel free. I've spent hours laughing. So I was MC Deliberate, and all my raps were like, yo, illiterate, deliberate, yo, I'm vigorous with the pen. Like it's just like weird, like scientific, like backpack stuff. And then when I got into the New York rap, I was like, yo, what would sound dope if like Prodigy said it or like Havoc said it or something. I was like, yo, SonReal. Like I thought it sounded ill. Like I was like, yo, honestly, that's honestly my mentality. I was like 15. So
if Prodigy, rest in peace, or Havoc is saying, yo, SonReal. I like that. This is Rich Nice right here, who actually helped sign Nas. Get on the mic, Rich.
Crazy.
And,
how you doing,
and
man?
produced
Good,
a lot
man.
of,
How are you doing?
Produced a lot of music for Nas. You got a Nas question? He's there. Rich, you got a question for him?
You know what?
He wasn't ready. All right, okay. Now, are you?
That's cool. You can hold it.
Hold that.
You can get it and you tell it to me. You can tell it to me later.
Think about that, Rich.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you putting out? Are you independent?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm independent. I'm signed to a label in Canada called Black Box.
Okay.
And they're amazing.
Black Box.
Yeah, it's just a small group of guys that have kind of believed in me since I don't think it was pretty hard to believe in me when they picked me up. And yeah, I've been rolling with them ever since. So yeah, I'm independent right now.
SonReal.
When you were talking about how if the New York rappers and them just painting the stories of all their challenges, and you were like, okay, that is so outside what I experienced, but if that is something they can get out of, then I can get out of my own experience. What are some pitfalls? Because there's a lot of people just look at a white guy and say, you have no challenges.
Yeah. I mean, when I started rapping, like being a white rapper wasn't like cool or anything.
Right.
Like at all. And like, I mean, where I'm from, like.
You mean where you from?
Well, no, yeah, I guess where I'm from or just in general. And like, I think also like, I mean, when I started rapping, there wasn't even a studio to go to where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to like Radio Shack and like go get a microphone and like plug it into my computer and then like just start like writing lyrics and like, yeah, basically just like trying to write songs by myself with no help. And there's no mentors. There's nobody to look up to where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked up to people out here and people in Toronto. Like there's all like, I mean, New York was my favorite type of rap, but like, I mean, I loved Canadian hip hop, like Cardinal, Socrates, you know, Chaos. These are people that played a huge part in my, you know, Mood Rough, like people that nobody even knows were like my like favorite artists out there as well. So, you know, coming from Vernon and I had to move to Vancouver. I went to audio engineering school because my whole thing was, man, I had to do everything myself. Like I went to audio engineering school so I could record all my own music. I went there so I could go mix my own stuff. I went there so I could go, you know, go into a studio and know what I was doing. And I had to leave Vernon eventually. Obviously, I couldn't do it from there. But I think the whole mentality of being inspired by that was just them overcoming so much. And me being like, how am I going to do this? I have such a different story, but how am I going to do it?
Man, SonReal, yo.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How did you, what kind of hurdles did you have to face in order to support yourself to keep this, you know, pursuing this dream of doing hip-hop? I mean, you can only work a certain type of job that gives you the freedom to go to the studio and record and do shows and things like that. So what kind of adversity did you have to face?
I work construction jobs, man. Like I would work like I was a carpenter. I did concrete finishing. I did rebar. I did like all sorts of crazy construction stuff. I did it with actually my manager, Byron, over there, the big tall guy.
Byron looked like he's still doing it though.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. We did all sorts of stuff like that to pay for beats, to, you know, fly ourselves out to Toronto, to do all sorts of stuff, to, you know, to do this music thing. And I remember one day I got laid off of my job and I was so bummed because I got laid off and I was like, yo, like what am I gonna do now? And I remember calling Byron. I was on the C-bus thing in Vancouver. We got this C-bus thing. What's that?
It's
like a bus that goes over the water to the next part of Vancouver.
C-bus, S-E-A.
Yeah,
Okay.
C-bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Granville Island.
I was on there and I was like, I basically called Byron and I was just like, yo, like I just got you know, let go from my job or whatever. And he's like, why don't you just sleep on my couch at our house and you can put all your recording stuff in my room and just do music. And like it was like something just went off, and I was just like, okay, that was the first time ever that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna either fall on my face doing something that I love and be happy doing that, and I'm just never gonna look back. Like I'm just gonna either, you know, I'm just gonna go for it 100%, and that was kind of the moment. And so I went and slept on the couch.
Well, so Words I Said or The Closers, when was this in relation to that? Those were back in 2012. So
this was before The Closers, and this was before Words I Said.
Okay.
Like this was actually like this was a minute ago. Like this was like 2010.
So you paid dues. Basically,
I paid dues, man, and I've been sitting here studying low key in Canada, trying to get out here. You know, man. So. Yeah, man, I'm blessed to be out here. I appreciate you having me.
And you know, it's so ironic, SonReal. Sun is real because we got artists who live in this city that can't get here on time. and this man comes all the way from Vernon
on a C bus.
Hey. On a C bus. Yo, I showed up 45 minutes early too, by the way. I've been sitting around. I got the coffee.
But I want to ask you too, though. Then, so where was your support system? Like, where was your mom and your parents? Did they like not want to deal with you because you didn't have a quote unqute real job?
Oh man,
how does that work?
I think any rapper goes through a similar story. Like, I mean, my mom's like my biggest supporter. Honestly, I wouldn't even be doing this. She's the one that actually like was like, hey, you should save up your money. I was paving at the time. She's like, you should save up your money and you should go to audio engineering school. Nice. And then, you know, if the music doesn't work out, at least you have something to fall back on. You could be an engineer or you could work as a producer or whatever it is. And so I ended up going to audio engineering school because my mom really kind of helped me do that. And yeah, like my parents have been like everything. My mom remarried. My parents divorced when I was 15. You know, my stepdad's such a big part of my life and a big part of my career. I've got two sisters. My younger sister's an actor. She does theater and stuff, and so we have very similar jobs. And yeah, my family's been like the biggest.
Shout out to your parents, man, for rocking with you and supporting you. Yeah, me too.
You're all right, son.
Yeah, parents are everything.
Yeah, man.
Shout out parents.
And the fact that you accepted your stepdad at 15, that could be a hard transition right there, man.
Oh, buddy, it wasn't easy. It wasn't smooth, bro. It wasn't smooth. That's right when I started rapping. So yeah, that was the beginning of the bars.
Yeah, you never liked
I
stepdad.
I had battle bars for him at the start.
Yeah,
it's good now.
You was gonna battle him.
I'm about to kill him.
We're good now. We're all
touch
chill.
my mama's ass. Don't touch my mama's
ass.
Yeah, man.
Too far?
Yeah.
Nah, that's cool.
Oh, thank you, son. SonReal. SonReal. I like that. Okay, let me see what's on. We're gonna play Go Play. All right. Tell me about Go Play.
Go Play is produced by Rocky. He does like lots of Kendrick stuff, and he's like, yeah, I had to drop the Kendrick reference.
Did you just stun on us?
Yeah, I just stunned it, yo.
Yo, you stunned it. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm basically like Kendrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like he executive produced my project, and we're really good friends, and he's just the man. He like pushes me every single time I get in the studio. He's like the only guy, like, I mean, lots of producers will make me like re-spit things and re-record things and stuff, but not like him. Yeah. He's like so picky. Like if I don't do one thing, like he just pushes me. He's just like, yo, that didn't sound dope enough. Yo, can you rewrite those two lines? Like he's an incredible producer that has brought a lot to my music, and he produced this song. Okay, here it is. Let you you want to talk with SonReal, 888-742-3345.
La-di-da-di-da-di, they just want to party, but when
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.